back to Transfer Fever 2, an amazing resource management and simulation game. Don't hesitate to check the video that will appear now at the top or will be in the video description below, where I cover what this game is all about and if it's still worth buying in 2022. Spoiler alert, it is, and that's why we're playing it today. I'm StratGamer, covering strategy, city building games, simulations with game reviews, guides, tutorial and let's plays. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't hesitate to do so by pressing on the red button below. It is free and it helps a lot the channel. In some of the previous episodes, I showed you how to optimize the money you're making in the game by thinking about the distance, by thinking about the top speed of the vehicles you're using. We're actually going to look at the different types of vehicles, from the big planes that you can see on the screen now, to long trains like this one, and of course trucks. You can see here 8 different lines, 3 trucks, 3 trains and 2 planes, and they all make very different types of money. All these lines are transporting grains over a similar distance. You can see that the starting point and the end point is always sort of the same. They are also all delivering 200, except this one, we're gonna talk about it why. They do all have very different speeds. If you saw my previous episode on the topic, you know that speed does impact the money we're making, but I'm going to go into some more details on different types of vehicles now. But let's see that this truck here, 40 kilometers, this train here 40 kilometers. So if the vehicle types didn't impact, we should have exactly the same money, and we're not. This one is always around 3.3 million, this one 3.8 million, and it's a combination of both different incomes. You can see here the incomes is always around 4 million, versus for this one the income is always around 6 million, and different maintenance. So with this first test will already show that the ticket price is different, but at the same time the maintenance will also definitely be different. Out of all of these lines, we can see that this plane going at almost 900 kilometers per hour is the one making the most money, right? 15, almost 16 million versus only 11 million for the highest train. But this one is going at 150 kilometers per hour, which is faster than this train here at 120 kilometers, right? So we should expect that this plane should make a lot more money than this train. It is not, right? 1.5 million, 6 million here. There is a small difference that here we're delivering 200, here we're delivering 100. So let's say we double that. We get to 3 million, still way below the 6 million. So there's definitely something going on. So clearly with this example, we've also shown that the ticket price, or at least the income of the planes, is very different from the income of the trains. Now, before I go further, let me explain why this plane is the only one not delivering 200. And it's basically because it's not possible for it to deliver 200. The cargo of this plane is only 8, and look, I already have a lot of planes waiting. Even if you add more planes to this line, you will not get higher than this. It is possible to put different terminals, it is possible to put a second runway, but still, planes can be quite limited in the amount that they deliver. For trains, you definitely don't have that problem. So in the game, we could definitely see that each of these vehicle types had different ticket price formulas, and here I'm actually showing you those exact formulas. I will post in the description below, of course, the link to this, where you can see that each of the vehicles, the planes, the trains, the trucks, and also the boats have different formulas, with X being their top speed. This will give you the ticket price, and then to make it simple, you're going to multiply the ticket price by the distance. So anyway, as you see, this is different formulas, and therefore, depending on the speed, some of them are better than others. Some of them are also always worse than others. For example, you can see that in red, the trucks are always below the blue line of the rail. On the other hand, you can see that all of those functions intersect at some point, meaning that if you only look at the income, planes below that speed are better, but above that speed, rail is better. Now, does that mean you should never use planes, for example, or does that mean you should never use trucks? Definitely not, for 2 reasons. The first reason we saw here is that this plane is still the one making the most money, because planes are the only vehicles capable of reaching such high speed. So even if the formula is, let's say, less advantageous to planes because they reach such high speeds, in the end, it's still better than trains for such long distances. The second reason why it's not as simple as always saying, for example, train and never truck, is because of the cost. The cost are on 2 elements. One is the cost to actually build something. You know, if you want to build an airport, if you want to build train tracks, If you want to buy trains, it's usually a lot more expensive than just trucks. So especially at the beginning of the game, trucks are definitely better, but also the maintenance. For example, let's compare this truck line here to this train line here. Train line actually has a higher speed, 120 kilometers versus only 100 kilometers for the trucks. But the trucks are actually making more profit than the train. So it's not even about the cost of buying this train, which was higher than those trucks. It's even just the profit. The profit every year is actually higher for the trucks. Why? Because of maintenance. You can see that while this train is making more income, it's making 10 million income, while this one is only making 8 million of income every year. This one only has 1 million of maintenance versus the train actually has 4 million of maintenance every year. While trains will make you more money at the same speed than trucks, they actually may not make you more profit. If you have any questions about how to make money in Transport Fever 2, remember that I've covered in the past how distance impacts your money. I also covered how the speed of your vehicles impact your money. In the next episode, we'll compare grain to all of the other resources like stone and iron. Don't hesitate to follow on the channel the current Let's Play that we're doing in Transport Fever 2 on a large map connecting all of the cities and sharing a lot of tips along the way. If you like this episode, don't hesitate to press the like button, and I hope to see you next time.